Well, the moment that we have been waiting for, and that I know I personally have been waiting for a very, very long time. I'm so happy to welcome you all to this office and to our Office of Economic Empowerment and our newest statewide program, Seed MA Baby. Seed MA Baby will be the first statewide college savings account program in the Commonwealth. I see you smiling over there. It gives every baby born to an eligible family in Massachusetts the opportunity to begin saving for higher education from day one. Starting in January 2020, all babies born to Massachusetts residents will receive a $50 deposit to open a 529 account through MIFA, and thank you, MIFA, for being here. This program is designed to empower families from Boston to the Berkshires to everywhere all over the state to save for their child's higher education. I am honored that in my role as treasurer, we have been able to take these unprecedented steps. We are empowering the next generation of Massachusetts residents. Everyone, everywhere, knows the importance of pursuing either college or vocational and technical training in this state, but not everyone has the resources to do so. Potential is equally distributed. Opportunity is not. This groundbreaking program could not have come to fruition without our Seed MA pilots in Worcester and in Munson, where we learned valuable lessons on the challenges and opportunities of bringing a program statewide. That is what I talked about when I began them. I said they would teach us what we need to know so that we could make college savings available to every single child in Massachusetts. And in Worcester, enrolling families and providing them the financial skills they need and their families need, we dealt with a population of children that had at least one foreign-born parent or were foreign-born themselves that exceeded the statewide average, 38% of those in Worcester versus 22% in Massachusetts. And so we were able to learn how to work with every group, with people who were typically not even English speaking as their first language. Of 35% of the students that were English language learners, we purposely challenged ourselves to take on the biggest issues so that when we went statewide, we could deal with every group, every person, every family, and make sure that they were able to get the resources they need. We translated materials into 8 different languages: Albanian, Arabic, Nepali, Portuguese, Spanish, Tree, and Vietnamese. It's been a very exciting project. We enlisted community organizations because we needed people to be able to win the trust and attention of busy parents, many of them single-parent households, many of them working multiple jobs with an average income level below the federal level. I'd like to give a really huge thank you to Worcester and Munson and their delegations, all their elected officials, their community partners. Everyone has been involved in this and cares so passionately about what happens to their kids. And I would be remiss if I also didn't give an enormous shout out to my dear, dear friend from Inversant, Bob Hildreth. Where are you, Bob? Right there. We are quite the roadshow together, to be perfectly candid. He and I have been working together on our other program, SOAR MA, which is Bob's baby. But Bob and I found each other, and we have collaborated, and we have so much more to tell you about. I'd also like to thank Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mary Lou Sutters, and she is represented today by Abigail Auerbach from DPH. And you have done so much to help us get to this moment, and we know you're going to do so much more. One of the valuable lessons we learned from our pilot program was the appropriate ways in which to go statewide. After gathering our school data and looking at best practices, it became clearer and clearer that an at-birth model was the way to go, the most efficient way to reach every child in the state. With this, we can reach every community and grow college savings and, very importantly, aspirations at every level, in every corner. Saving at birth makes a difference, even if it's just $50. What we have seen is that saving $50, even if you make the smallest contributions, changes the whole dynamic for families. But that's why we wrap the financial literacy instruction and education around the children and their families. We give them the financial skills to understand how to save, how to bank. Even parents begin thinking about retirement with the kind of information that we're giving them. And with that, and this is very critical because everyone in this room has heard about what debt has done to people. With that, the likelihood of them assuming debt or making the wrong choices about the kind of expenses they can incur changes dramatically. College and vocational training does not have to be a lofty goal. What we all know is in this state, you need skills. We are an innovative economy. We don't have massive oil fields and farmlands running on for hundreds and hundreds of miles. We have our brains. The jobs are there. We want to help get every kid through that pipeline into those jobs so they can have an economically stable life, have the economic opportunities to be here in Massachusetts and succeed. So I want to give a special thank you to a dear, dear friend of mine. I won't say old friend, even though it's true, because we're both very young. Right, Marty? Mayor Martin Walsh, since he has come into office, gets it. Everything I'm saying is everything he thinks and feels about his kids in his city. He established the Boston Saves program, providing kindergartens who attend certain Boston public schools with a $50 college savings account. Why? Because for the very reasons I've just stated. With the rollout of Seed MA Baby, we'll be the only state in the country that has more than one government-backed college savings program, providing multiple points of entry. Let's say a family in Boston isn't here when the baby is born. Marty's going to get them when they come into the schools. So he has been a tremendous partner of mine, ensuring that these kids throughout the Commonwealth will get the skills they need to succeed. I want everybody to remember, this is about the kids and their connection to having a good life. A good life, a productive life, a life where you earn a good, solid living is also good for our state. So I look forward to deepening this partnership as we roll out Seed MA Baby. Together, we will make sure that every Massachusetts family can contribute to the success and financial stability of their children. So, with that, I could say a lot more things about Marty Walsh, but I bet a lot of you know who he is. And I am just absolutely thrilled to have my dear, dear friend, Mayor Marty Walsh, here today with us.
Thanks, Treasurer. Thank you. Thank you, Treasurer Goldberg, and I want to thank the Treasurer for really spearheading this effort statewide, taking this statewide. This is such an important issue. If you look at all of the signs and all of the numbers and all of the data, it'll show you that by getting an early childhood account for young people, there's a lot higher percentage that they're going to go to college, and the family's going to focus on college, and something that we really have to do. We're going to be talking in a few minutes. I'm going to be asked about what happened in Boston last night, about the violence that happened in the city, and the answer to a lot of what's happening here long-term is education. It's giving people the opportunity so they have that chance to get to college. So I want to thank the treasurer. I want to thank everyone standing with us today and behind us. I want to give two shout-outs. One is to my former colleague in the House, the chairwoman of education, Alice Peisch, who has done an incredible job of leading the education committee and really providing more opportunities for our young people. And the other person is the former, we both served in the House, Steve Walsh, who's running the Mass Hospital Associations, that's here with us today. I want to thank Steve as well. When Steve was a representative here, he too pushed hard every day, as a lot of us did, because it was about creating opportunity. So I want to thank everyone also behind us today. This is an exciting program. You heard the treasurer. It's going to make a real difference. It's going to make a real difference in the lives of families all over Massachusetts. It's going to help families save for college, and it's going to help kids develop confidence, something that's important for us. It's going to show us that college and show young people in Massachusetts that college is possible and that their community believes in them. And that's not the feel across every city and town today in Massachusetts, and this savings account will change that. I'm confident of this program because it's one of the ones that we have in the city of Boston, and it's really taken off. 2 years ago, we started Boston Saves program at 5 of our Boston public schools. We wanted to increase the number of students who are graduating from high school and pursuing higher education, and we wanted their families and give their families the tools that they needed and the training they needed to make sure that that happened. We adopted this model because of the data. The data backs it up. Researchers show that when kids, even a small amount of money set aside, are 3 times more likely to go to college and 4 times more likely to graduate from college. And that's what this is all about. It's all about that stat, 3 times more likely to go to college and 4 times more likely to graduate from college. Boston program is still young, but with results that we've seen so far, we're excited. We've expanded from 5 schools to 11 schools. The numbers show students with their accounts and their names are continuing to grow. We have literally set up these Jenny, what do you call them? Almost seminars where we bring parents in, explain, sit them down, and walk them through the process, something that's really important. Parents and families have been very engaged, and one parent told us that Boston Saves motivate them to finally open savings account for their kids. And that's something, it's just something that's really, really important. We're excited to build on this program. We're excited to expand it to all BPS schools in 2019, and that's what our goal is. But having the state program, as the treasurer talked about, it will become a safety net, if you will, to catch all the families that move into the city that aren't here today or that didn't have children today that might move out and come back into the city. This is an example of government being creative. It's a relatively simple intervention that has the power to change lives. It shows that kids early in their life, that their communities believe in them and the communities care about their future. I'm excited about the statewide launch. It's a great resource for our families here in Boston and in every city and town. I want to thank everyone, particularly the folks behind us, who worked hard to make this a reality. I know that our team in Boston will continue to be a resource, and I want to thank you for being with us this morning.
So, I would now like to introduce, as I mentioned before, my good friend Bob Hildreth. He is the founder of Inversant, an organization that is committed to helping the entire family invest in higher education. Bob and Inversant have been our key partners in SORA May, which I mentioned before, and they will remain a key partner in the Seed MA program as we proceed. Bob is so passionate about making these opportunities available that he himself goes and talks to kids. He shows them how money can grow in a little piggy bank. He has been doing this for years, and he came to the State House and offered a partnership where we are working with 5 cities, 5 working cities, in the most challenging environments. And when you see these kids and you see the paradigm of their lives change, it does incredible things for you. And Bob shows that enthusiasm every day. He had a career in finance, but he turned his attention to philanthropy. And having been coming from a family of educators and having been a high school history teacher, Bob, you taught history? It would have been fun to have you. I know that you have been an incredible partner to me and that you will continue to partner with us, because for you, you will not sleep until every child in Massachusetts not only has their savings account, that their families all have a financial understanding of how their lives and what goes on in them will impact them and their families. And every single kid gets either a college education or that vocational and technical training that will give them the life they deserve. Please welcome Bob Hilbert from Inversant.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. So when I was thinking about what I would say today, I couldn't help the news. Last week was tough for Boston, 7 slings in 7 days. But whenever I turned on the news, there was this guy's mug right there trying to give hope to the city. And that told me what I should say today. Because if there's anything about hope, it's a children's savings account. Hope of parents, single moms, that their kids are going to be safe and that they're going to have a future. And we at Inversant, who've been trying to do this for 10 years, can tell you that that hope is not without substance. What we have found, where most of our families are single moms, is that 2,000 families have saved $2 million, which we then matched with $2 million for college. That was a phenomenal result. But because I can't stay quiet for too long, with Alice Peisch, we came up with the idea of a statewide pilot program. So just like the treasurer said, what Deb said, we went to 5 cities: Pittsfield, Springfield, Worcester, Haverhill, and Lowell. And we started the programs there. And then we were really under an umbrella of the treasurer's vision, because she was saying, I remember when she pulled me in, I think it was to this office here, and said, I'm going statewide. And I said, what? I said, we're going to go statewide. And we're going to join Pennsylvania and Rhode Island, Connecticut, Nevada, and San Francisco and Maine. We're going statewide. And son of a gun, here today, we're going statewide. But beyond my words of hope, I want to show you hope. So would Abigail come up here, please?
Here we go.
So Abigail born, this is Rochelle, who works in Inversant.
Hello.
And we're looking at a 2-month-old.
Yes, she is.
And this is what Seed M.A.
Baby.
Baby
Baby.
is all about. Thank you very much.
There we go, sweetheart. So I know she just took the whole rest of the day away. What a good girl, huh? So, Bob, thank you for bringing yet another prop. With that, would you look at, seriously, guys, would you look at this little girl? I'd like to introduce Tom Graff. Tom is the executive director, yawn. The executive director of the Massachusetts Educational Financing Agency. They are the experts in 529 plans, which are the college savings plans. Tom and his team have been incredible partners with us. They have supported us. They have come with us to events. They've helped us make sure that families understand and get the support to sign up and save. And I look forward to working together on this statewide initiative Tom, please join us up here, and you cannot have the baby.
So it's hard enough to follow Bob and the treasurer, but I have to follow a baby now, so nobody will be looking here, and they'll be looking over there. Thank you. I want to thank the treasurer for her leadership on college savings and financial education. And I want to thank, it's an honor to follow Bob, who is a pioneer in this area, who we've been working with for 10 years and have found him never picking the easy places to do this, always picking the most difficult situations in kids and working with them. And the success that he talks about, we've seen on a first-hand basis. So, I mean, Bob is a real trailblazer here, and he puts, as you'll find out later, both his effort and his money behind these kind of efforts. Meaver's pleased to join today for this exciting announcement, and also pleased to continue the collaborative work with the Office of Economic Empowerment. I also want to thank the governor, the Massachusetts legislature, and Bob, along with the treasurer, for helping families save for higher education. The important work of these leaders makes a difference in the lives of children across the Commonwealth. For nearly 40 years, Meaver has worked with families to create a plan on achieving their dream of higher education. As the state authority on planning, saving, and paying for college, we know that plans begin with a college savings account. The U Fund Investing Plan, the Commonwealth's 529 College Savings Plan, which we offer in conjunction with Fidelity Investments, has provided that option for 20 years. As the experts in college savings, we understand that most families' need to save for college competes against other financial priorities, including paying the rent, the mortgage, and buying food and clothing. Though through financial education, we continue to work with families to show how important it is to save for higher education and to develop a plan for paying for school. Opening a college savings account is that critical first step in developing a plan. And beginning in 2020, that, with the assistance of the treasurer and many others, that will get much easier. Building a college-going culture within a family is not just about setting academic goals. It's about helping a child understand that by setting aside, shouldn't turn the page just quite yet, that by setting aside money in a college savings account, they can afford to go to college someday. Additionally, and equally important, every dollar saved is $1 less borrowed to cover the cost of higher education. Savings reduces how much a family and student will need to borrow for college and provides many other choices and flexibility for those students. We are pleased to be working on Seed MA Baby. It's taken me a while to get it too, Bob, with our colleagues in the Treasurer's Office and the Department of Public Health. The program will not only encourage all families across the Commonwealth to begin savings, it will jumpstart those college savings through a $50 seed contribution. We look forward. Saving for college is something we believe and have believed for a long time is a key to the Massachusetts economy, and need to keep educating parents and families about that. And we welcome the opportunity to work together with the folks here. So we thank you and appreciate the time.
Okay. So she's doing well, so we're just going to keep her nice and quiet. Now, another former Representative Walsh, Steve Walsh, who is now President and CEO of the Massachusetts Health and Hospital Association. We could not do this without the hospitals, because obviously this is a collaboration, DPH, the hospitals, MIFA, and this is what's so terrific about this program. It is a public-private partnership. And that is what the mayor referred to when he talked about government at its best, being able to leverage everyone's passion. And Steve has been incredible in this. We brought him in here to talk to him about this program. He couldn't get the yes out fast enough. He said, oh my goodness, obviously, I'm working in the healthcare world. We need kids to have the skills to fill those jobs. And of course, his experience as the appointed chairman of the House Committee on Healthcare Financing, he oversaw the 2012 landmark healthcare payment reform. and he's been incredible in assisting to inform families about CMA baby, and that at birth, this is an essential thing to be thinking about. Please welcome Steve Walsh to the podium.
Thank you, Treasurer. I'm really just here to say thank you, certainly to my dear friend, Mayor Walsh, Senator Eldridge, the private partners that are here, but most importantly, to the Treasurer. What extraordinary leadership, innovation, passion for such a critical and important issue. I have the pleasure every day of working on behalf of every hospital in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And make no mistake, we have the greatest hospitals in the world here in Massachusetts. When you walk through the doors of a hospital, we don't see socioeconomic status or gender or race. We see a patient. That's what the Treasurer sees. She sees patients, but she also sees optimism and hope. So today is a day, really, if you think about it, if you boil it down, she is matching our two greatest industries in Massachusetts, higher education and hospitals, and she's doing it through the eyes of children. It's truly an extraordinary day for Massachusetts, and her leadership should not go unnoticed today and as we move into the future. So thank you, Treasurer Goldberg.
How many babies can sleep through all of this? I mean, this child, you're getting the first deposit, I'm telling you right now. Right, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. So we're going to finish up the remarks with Carl Rist. We're very lucky Carl happens to be in Boston for a meeting that got rescheduled that was supposed to be during a snowstorm. So thank you for not snowing today. Bob has 20 years of experience with Prosperity Now. This is an organization that works to ensure that everyone has a clear path to financial stability, wealth, and prosperity. His work specifically is focused on college savings accounts. That's why he's here today. He has designed and directed very innovative CSA programs and has written a lot about saving for college and vocational and technical training. I look forward to hearing from you, Carl, on how our program is really going to make a difference. Carl, can you join us? Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer Goldberg, Mayor Walsh, members of the press, distinguished guests, and Bob. I am Carl Rist, and I'm the Senior Director of Children's Savings at Prosperity Now. Prosperity Now is a Washington, D.C.-based nonprofit organization whose mission is to ensure that all Americans have the opportunity to be financially stable, build wealth, and prosper. We've been one of the national leaders in the children's savings account movement, which seeks to create matched or incentivized savings accounts as a way to build wealth and encourage college aspirations for all children from birth. I love that. Well played. It is my honor to join you today in the announcement of CMA Baby. With this announcement, Massachusetts solidifies its position as one of the leaders in the children's savings account movement nationwide. The Commonwealth now joins its neighbors, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, along with Nevada and Pennsylvania, as the only states in which every child, born or adopted, is or will soon be eligible for a generous initial deposit in a 529 college savings account. With the growing evidence base and the example of successful programs like here in Massachusetts, such as the CMA pilot, Inversant, and Boston Saves, the children's savings movement has been growing rapidly in the last few years. At the end of 2017, my organization counted over 54 programs in 32 states, serving over 380,000 children. With today's announcement, I expect that soon more than 1 million kids across the U.S. will be saving and building college aspirations in children's savings accounts like those to be created by CMA Baby. It's so awesome. The research on children's savings accounts could not be more clear, and the mayor cited it, right? Mm-hmm. Low and moderate income kids with as much as $500 in an account are 3 times more likely to attend college and 4 times more likely to graduate than their peers with no college savings. And so today I applaud you for this important investment in the educational success and economic mobility of the next generation of Massachusetts residents. And I wish you and your children much success. Thank you very much.
She's waking up. So with that, the speeches are over, and I am very, very excited to announce specifically that our first funder for this is the wonderful Bob Hildreth. And I think you have a check for us, don't you? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Inversant. Thank you to all of our partners. We could not do any of this if this was not a collaboration. This is about Abigail. This is about all the children, and it's about all the families. Because remember, what makes this program unique is the financial literacy training and education that we get not only to these little children beginning as soon as they learn language, but their families and their guardians and their caretakers. This is about making sure everybody has economic stability and opportunity in this state, and we couldn't be more excited. So thank you.
And thank you to Abigail for being so excited.